you were offering a service that made sense. You were making good money off of it with the one-on-ones. Then you realize that you can't scale by doing, you only have a fixed amount of hours in the day, right? To be able to do these appointments and regurgitate the same information. So you figured out how you can automate that and scale. What went into that beyond just being sick and tired of like having the same conversation over and over again? What else went into that process? And then how did you get to Kajabi as the platform that you wanted to use to be able to execute this program?
Yeah, so it definitely wasn't a lot more. It was really just understanding that I could be doing so much more with my time than doing the same calls over and over again. Initially, I would kind of think about what I'm going to say, and then afterwards, I was like, you know what? I only have 4 different types of calls. I might as well just create a presentation. They're going to be able to, it's an interactive presentation, but it's going to be the same content every time. From that point, I also realized that there's so many different people that are in different lengths of business, like so many different directions, that there's more I can be doing with them once they actually learn the content first, and then they'll be able to ask the questions later. Because there's no point of me reading through a slide or like a presentation when they can just, watch it on their own time and then ask me the actual questions when they digest the information. Exactly. So it was really just like a switch of mindset overall of understanding that I can be doing this and this to actually benefit people more than, booking a one-on-one for an hour and then booking a follow-up one-on-one with the next step, afterwards. So that was that. And then also understanding that you can, like you said, scale a lot more when you already have, when it's already automated. If the course is already there, it's already, it's not active income anymore. Now it's passive. I only have to show my face, once a week. 1 hour instead of having to do 6 hours back to back of one-on-one to make that same amount of money. So that was definitely the starting point. But when it came to picking Kajabi over like Teachable or any of the other platforms, it really came down to doing my own research and just figuring out what would be the best to scale. I looked at people that were in similar places that I am, that are at the level that I want to be at, and really figuring out what they use, because if I'm trying to get there, I have to think like them. I have to use what they're using. I have to figure out why they're using this instead of this. So I do a lot of competition analysis for people that are not within my own range, I would say. I personally like to always, I think it's my parents again, being African, you just want to be the best at all things, So in my head, it's like, why would I look at my competition when I can look at people that I know is not my competition in any means, but I'm trying to get there? Why would I look at the ocean when I can look at the stars? So I think that was a huge part in my decision-making process for Kajabi overall. I just saw that was the most common use based on all the other people that have the community or the platform that I personally have as well.
So for people listening, I think something that's very important, which I feel has guided you on this journey, is using those initial folks that you were doing the one-on-ones with as almost like market research. I think that's very important because even when I'm consulting, I see different trends and different pain points that people are complaining about. Same questions that they're asking, getting lost at the same point in their process. Mm-hmm. And I think that's very important, because when you can identify that those trends, then you're able to provide solutions that stretch far and wide. And then that's when you're able to scale appropriately. Because if you're not paying attention to those things, to those pain points, and then figuring out how whatever service you're offering or whatever, product you're offering can help plug some of those holes, then it's hard for you to get to the level that you're at where you're able to scale. And then the other thing is vertical integration. I'm always talking about that. So leveraging one business to be able to kind of cross promote, cross sell, and not have to recreate the wheel. So it seems like, with you and with every other guest that's on this platform, it's like y'all are the CEO of, you're the CEO of Ruby LLC, right? And then from there, making sure that you're good, making sure that you're consistent with the content that you put out, right? To start, that consistency has led to arms coming out from the middle of that LLC, where you're able to do the planners, where you're able to do the academy. I feel like you've built an audience. And if you wanted to go and do hair, sell
I
hair
did.
next,
I did. I forgot about that business. I
okay.
had a hair company. My hair company started right after the accessories. My hair company what funded my planner line because hair companies that's like easy money. I don't discredit that for nothing.
You should definitely think about partnering with another person who can manage the logistics and just be the face of the brand. And then that way you have an extra source of income coming in, and then more data you can use to sell some of your other products. But I just think that that's very important. And I think it all starts with consistency. LeBron says it all the time. He's like, if I'm not great on the court, all these other the $1 billion Nike deal and all these other opportunities that they're not going to, be presented to me if I'm not handling my handles when it comes to what I have to do. So I think that that's something that we all can learn from, business minds and like master marketers like yourself.